So like I knew Scott somewhat, like he was always cool to me, but when we went to India, it was like that's when he sort of latched on to me, because it was like he's in this foreign country, he doesn't really know anyone, and besides Jeff, who's like busy booking the show and whatever, Scott was like, hey Mags, let's go train, let's hang out, like like so I spent a lot of time with him. But Scott, this will make you laugh, just because this is why I said that we should have done a documentary about like behind the scenes of Rinky King, because there's so many funny stories. But when Steiner showed up, he brought like 2 huge like duffel bags, like hockey bags, and we were like, and they were way overweight, so he had to pay like massive upcharges for his luggage. And so it became this sort of ongoing thing with all the boys, like, what is in Scott's bags? So I mean, he wears the same clothes, he wears like basic clothes, these like black jeans, t-shirt. Like it's not like he's got to bring a load of fancy clothes, or because the girls would have big suitcases and stuff. But that's because they've got to bring all their hair stuff and their curling irons and this and that and makeup and clothes and whatnot, right? But we were like, what is Scott Steiner got? What is in Scott Steiner's bags? This became this ongoing thing. Well, it turned out, about 2 or 3 days in, we're sitting there having catering, and catering was actually all right at Rinky King. Like some of the wrestlers were a bit like iffy about it, but maybe it's just because I'm British, but I was sort of, I was good with it. I thought it was always all right. But I remember Steiner saying to me one day, like, he did, whatever the food was that day, he wasn't feeling it, I guess. But I remember him saying to me, like, hey Max, if you get hungry, I've got chicken and I've got a hot plate in my room. And I was like, you could have what? Cans of chicken. He brought one of those bags was just full of cans of chicken and a hot plate. He brought a hot plate and a saucepan and like cans of chicken. Like, and that was like an entire bag because he was so paranoid that like India wasn't going to have enough food, it wasn't going to have like protein for him and stuff. So he brought like cans and cans and cans of chicken and a hot plate and a saucepan to like chicken and rice in his hotel room. And it was like, the funny thing is, like, we stayed in a really nice hotel and we had like the run of the place. Like it was like fountains and like, it was like fucking concierge service. Obviously I'm sitting there and he says this to me, and of course it's Steiner, so I'm kind of like, oh yeah, cool, thanks Scott, like, and then like as soon as he left, we're all like, oh my god.